Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night 091 here, coming at you with another Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Now, in this battle here, we're going to lead off here with our Urshifu and our Rillaboom. Our opponent, of course, is going to lead off here with an Electros and a Flutter Mane. Now, one thing I have to say about this team is that you don't see an Electros every day. So I'm actually kind of curious as to see what kind of an Electros this is actually going to be. Flutter Mane, of course, is activating the Photosynthesis, and of course that is going to boost up some stats. With the Urshifu, we're going to go in to attack the Flutter Mane, and of course with the Rillaboom, we're going to go in for the Fake Out onto that Electros. The reason being, I can't hit Flutter Mane with a Fake Out attack here. It's just not going to be possible unless he decides to go for like a Terra Change. It's going to give him a non-ghost Pokemon type. Now, with the Electros, I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do. A lot of the times I see Electros that are like the Volt Switchers. I myself, I like to prefer the Acid Spray, Flamethrower, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb kind of Pokemon, Thunderbolt, you know, that kind of idea. Flutter Mane, of course, going in for a Terra Ground? What is going on here? Not my first decision for a Terra change onto a Flutter Mane, that's for sure. He's going to go in for the Dazzling Gleam here. We actually also managed to get the Fake Out onto the Electros. I'm completely confused why you have Terra Ground onto this Flutter Mane. The reason being, I've got Rillaboom and Urshifu. What are you doing? Okay. We're going to try to finish off this Flutter Mane, of course, but we are going to get some damage, hopefully off onto this Electros at this point. I think what's going to end up happening is that the Flutter Mane is going to switch out and probably come into something else, and that's exactly what's happening here. So let's see what the Pokemon's going to be. Creepo. And it looks like it's going to be a Spiritomb. Spiritomb, of course, is a very bulky Pokemon, very special defensive. It doesn't really do a whole lot of damage in it, okay? We're going to go for the Drum Beating off onto the Electros. And luckily for us, that's actually going to lower the speed down. Flamethrower not really doing a whole lot, despite the fact that I'm a Grass type, which is pretty fantastic. I'm really glad that we didn't get a crazy, massive amount of damage. I would probably try doing your Acid Spray first, and then maybe going for the Flamethrower after that, if you're lucky enough to survive. We're going to go in for the attack off onto the Spiritomb, and then of course the Electros, but they are going to switch places there with the Ally Switch. So Surging Strikes is actually going to hit the Electros, whereas I believe the Drum Beating is going to hit onto the Spiritomb. And that's something that you don't see a whole lot of nowadays, is the Ally Switch. It used to be very common back with Sword and Shield, specifically more so when you're like in a Psychic Terrain. Okay, there's a Drum Beating that actually does quite a bit of damage, and of course we get the speed drop here, which is pretty fantastic. Not really needed though, considering the fact that Spiritomb is a very slow Pokemon to begin with, but we are going to all gain a little bit of health back there from the grassy terrain. Next thing is we are going to see the Flutter Mane come back into play. That is a ground type Flutter Mane, of course, and I think the best thing to do here would be to go for the Aqua Jet. And just go for the Grassy Glide here again, or go for the Grassy Glide or Drum Beating. Okay, there it is, the Aqua Jet. We're going to be able to finish off that Flutter Mane. It didn't really do anything in this match, and I'm actually pretty happy about that, considering the fact that Flutter Mane can be quite the difficult Pokemon to be able to take out. There is the Grassy Glide, not enough to be able to take out the Spiritomb. However, because he did survive, he did manage to get a Destiny Bond off. And I don't really want to die from that, quite frankly. Honestly, with you. We're all going to regain our health here back again from the grassy terrain. And in comes the big bad Garchomp. Of course, Knackrack. What a nickname, Knackrack. Is that the actual name for it, or is that like a nickname? I'm not really sure. But we're going to try to go in for the attack here onto the Garchomp at this point, because quite frankly, I don't want to lose to the Spiritomb. Okay, Poison Jab, of course, we're going to be able to survive that. Unfortunately, we do get poisoned, but at least we survived, though. And that's something that I didn't expect to actually have happen. We're going to go in for the Surging Strikes here onto the Garchomp, but it does have rough skin. So we are going to take damage every time that we dish damage off onto that Garchomp. Okay, and as you can see, it actually ended up hurting us more than we would have liked. And very close to fainting here, to be honest with you. There's the drum beating. We're going to be able to finish off the Garchomp. And down to his last Pokemon, which is Spiritomb. Of course, he's going to get the Trick Room off here. I don't think it really matters at this point if he does get the Trick Room. I'm thinking what probably was the case is that Garchomp was probably set up to be used in Trick Room. So, max attack, maybe some max defense. You can use a bulky Garchomp quite easily, actually. So, Grassy Terrain is now gone, and we're going to go for the Aqua Jet, and we are going to go for the Grassy Glide into the Spiritomb. And that's at this point where our opponent decides to cancel. So that is GG. Thank you very much for the battle.